Hey everybody, how's it going? Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com to give you my thoughts on WWE Payback 2016 from the Allstate Arena in Chicago. Overall, I thought it was a good show. I thought the wrestling quality was really strong as usual, but I felt that the booking and the creative decisions were questionable. Some good decisions, some bad ones, and some that were just really over the top and ridiculous. I'll discuss my thoughts as we go through these match results. First up, we had the kickoff matches. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin, which was originally supposed to be on the main pay-per-view, but was bumped to the pre-show. I felt going in that Baron Corbin would win this. He would get a decisive win and continue to rise in the ranks in WWE, but instead, Baron Corbin lost to Dolph Ziggler, and he lost by a roll-up. The announcers played it up like it was due to Corbin's inexperience, and that's why he lost. I just wasn't a fan of this. I felt Corbin should have won, and WWE should have built him up similar to how they built up Rusev a couple years back, where they built up Rusev as this dominant heel, and that's the type of character that Baron Corbin is. So for him to be losing at this point, NXT was the place to get the experience. When he's on the main roster, he shouldn't be making the minor league mistakes. That's just my take on it. I think it made his character look really weak. We had Kalisto versus Ryback, which was surprisingly a very good match. I thought that it was way better than the WrestleMania match they had. The crowd, of course, chanted Goldberg at Ryback. Ryback was great. I mean, he was just going along with it. He was having fun. He was mocking CM Punk with his ring entrance, and he seemed like he enjoyed getting the negative chants from the fans. They were chanting "You can't wrestle" at him. There was one point that was a bit scary. Kalisto did his corkscrew planche over the top rope, and he didn't really go far enough, and he basically landed on the apron, and Ryback tried to catch him the best of his ability, but it looked like Kalisto hit more of the apron than being caught by Ryback. It could have been way worse. But the match itself was really solid. Ryback did this super military press slam from the top rope. That was cool. Ryback went for his, flyback splash, whatever he calls it. Kalisto missed, hit his finisher, and retained the title. Really didn't matter to me who won this one. I just felt putting it on the pre-show was not the right thing to do to elevate the title. So, whatever. Kalisto retains, and I guess that's for the best. Keep the title on somebody and let Kalisto have a lengthy reign with it. I guess that's better than flip-flopping the title around. Who knows? Alright, and for the main card, we kicked it off with the #1 contenders match for the tag team titles. Enzo and Cass against the Vaudevillains. New Day came out, cut a promo to start the show. They were hilarious at ringside. They were out there with pizza, and they had their cell phones out, taking pictures and video. Maybe recording video. I'm not sure what they were doing exactly. The Vaudevillains came out, and I wanted to note that Enzo and Cass were extremely over with this crowd. They were into everything, all the catchphrases, the whole opening monologue. Before the Vaudevillains came out, New Day called them Law and Hardy. They were funny as well. Vaudevillains came out, and unfortunately, this match never really got off the ground because a couple of minutes in, you had Enzo running into the ropes. It looked like he was trying to slide under the bottom rope, but he ended up hitting his head on the middle rope, and then he went down to the ground, and his head bounced off of the mat, and then he just rolled to the outside and went limp. At this point, it was pretty clear something was wrong. The referee came out, he did the X sign, and the medical team came out, and the match was called off. I mean, clearly this was not a work. The match only went about 3 minutes before this happened. Vaudevillains won because the match was thrown out. Really scary situation here. As it turns out, Michael Cole would announce later that Enzo had suffered a concussion and all other tests were negative, so that at least is good news. Of course, a concussion is not good news, but could have been way worse. I mean, when that happened, I mean, I got flashbacks to Paraguayo Jr. and what happened with him, and that was just a really scary moment, and it hurt the next match a little bit for me until they gave an update that Enzo was talking and he was moving. At that point, I was able to get into the show more. We had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens following this, and give credit to these guys. They went out there and they just went all out. This was an awesome match. They engaged in a slugfest right from the get-go. They did all their big spots with each other that they've done on the indies. Crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Lots of cool stuff. Owens doing the cannonballs, Sami Zayn countering the pop-up power bomb, and Owens hitting with the clothesline. They did all these different cool sequences. This match was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I think, in my opinion, this was the match of the night, just because there were no BS storylines and shenanigans. It was just a straight-up match between two guys that don't like each other and they have a grudge to settle. And I really enjoyed it. Kevin Owens won, which I felt was the right decision. Kevin Owens is one of the top heels in WWE, and WWE has been lacking in a strong heel, so I was glad that he got the win here. And after the match, Kevin Owens said he was going to go for the IC title and focus on that again. And he went outside and did commentary for the IC title match between The Miz and Cesaro. Kevin Owens was awesome. Not only did he have a great match with Sami Zayn, but he was hilarious on commentary, making fun of Michael Cole and Byron Saxton, and he was wearing JBL's hat. That was great. Then we had the match between Cesaro and The Miz. Cesaro came out, and he had the white suit, did his James Bond entrance and ripping off the clothes and all that. Then you had Sami Zayn during the match coming out and resuming his brawl with Kevin Owens. The two of them were fighting in the crowd, and then they ended up distracting the referee. And while the referee was distracted, Miz rolled up Cesaro and grabbed the tights and won the match. So we had another roll-up finish on this show. Kevin Owens laid out Sami Zayn in the ring. Owens and Miz went at it, but then Maurice was able to save The Miz from the pop-up powerbomb, and Owens held up the IC title. So I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of fatal four-way match. I mean, that's what I got out of this whole segment. That'll probably be one of the matches at Extreme Rules, a fatal four-way with these guys, which I'm totally fine with. They're keeping Sami Zayn in the mix. Then we had Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. This was a good match. I wouldn't say it was an all-time classic or anything, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. And I was happy that Dean Ambrose actually got a big win on a pay-per-view for once. So that was a nice touch. The crowd was into both guys. Jericho tried to play heel as much as possible. He was trying to get time out. He was complaining to the referee that Ambrose was trying to kill him. Jericho was doing everything in his power to be a heel in this match. And it was very entertaining. Ambrose, for the finish, was desperately trying to get the dirty deeds on, and finally he was able to hit it and get the win. I enjoyed this. Like I said, I thought that this was well done. Then we had the women's title match between Charlotte and Natalya. Ric Flair was there. Bret Hart came out. Bret Hart, it looked like he was limping. He looked to be in a lot of pain, and clearly what he said in those interviews was true. He really did not want to be there. It was pretty clear on his face. He seemed to be in a lot of pain and was just trying to be there to support Natalya. Really interesting match in a sense that the crowd was chanting at one point for Sasha Banks, chanting, "We want Sasha." The match was not the best women's match of the past year, but it was good. The finish, though, I mean, basically what they did is they recreated Montreal yet again. You had Charlotte put the sharpshooter on Natalya, and Charles Robinson immediately called for the bell and gave the title to Charlotte. So Charles Robinson was a crooked referee, and I have no idea if there's going to be any follow-up on this whatsoever. Time will tell if this is even mentioned again, or if WWE just wanted to do something cute and different by recreating Montreal for the 100th time. Whatever the case is, after the match, Bret Hart got in the ring, punched out Ric Flair, and then you had Flair and Charlotte both getting the sharpshooter from Bret Hart and Natalya at the same time. So that was a cool moment, but the whole Montreal thing was really over the top in my opinion and just ridiculous. Then we had Vince McMahon coming out for his segment to announce who would be running Raw. This big announcement, who would be in charge. My problem with this is that it went on way too long, but you know, maybe they had time to kill because of Enzo getting hurt. Who knows if this dragged out because of that. It just went on for a very long time. Stephanie came out, was bragging about how much she made things better in WWE, and she did not care if the fans booed her. She just went out there and made the company better, and just went on and on about that. Shane came out, and he showed all these headlines from a bunch of different mainstream websites about how Raw was turning the corner and better than ever and all that stuff. And the end result here was Vince saying that he wants to see blood, he wants to see them argue, so both of them were going to be in charge of Raw. No mention of SmackDown. Maybe Teddy Long gets to be in charge again, who knows. So yeah, this segment just went on way too long. Crowd was chanting CM Punk at Vince, and Vince was taking it in good stride. I mean, he was getting the fans worked up and saying, I wonder how long you guys can go with this thing. Come on, is that the best you got? Vince handled it pretty well. And Vince was good in this segment. I just thought it went on too long. And then we had the main event, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. As expected, Roman Reigns was booed out of the building. AJ Styles was cheered wildly by the fans. They were very much into him. They worked really well together. AJ Styles and Roman Reigns no doubt have chemistry in the ring together. But the booking of this match was interesting to say the least. Overbooked would be a good way to describe this match. First up, you had AJ Styles doing a phenomenal forearm to the outside, and he sent Roman Reigns through the table while doing this. The spot looked really cool, but as it turned out, Roman Reigns could not get back in the ring for the count of 10, so he was counted out. At this point, everyone booed, everyone was pissed off. Shane McMahon comes out, and this is a new era in WWE. So I guess the new era in WWE is that the referee's decision is not final. The referee's decision can be changed at any time, although it's been like this for a while now. Shane restarted the match with no countouts, although he decided to leave in DQs, and we'll get to that in a second here. The match was restarted with no countouts, which led up to a DQ. You had Roman Reigns hitting a low blow on AJ Styles, I believe unintentional, and it was a low blow though, so the referee called for the DQ. Stephanie came out, and she decided to restart the match again. So now it's no count out and no DQ. And they go back and forth. Roman Reigns kicks out of all these different things from AJ. AJ kicks out of all these different things from Roman. Then you have Anderson and Gallows coming out to help AJ. Usos come out to make the save. While all of them are brawling on the outside, AJ gets thrown off the top rope by Roman Reigns onto the four guys on the outside. Then Roman Reigns does his big dive. AJ Styles hits a forearm off the dasher board onto Roman, throws him back in the ring, tries to pin him. Roman kicks out again. AJ Styles goes for another forearm. Roman Reigns gets his foot on the ropes, and then finally AJ goes for yet another forearm. Roman moves out of the way, hits the spear, and gets the win. So yeah, Roman Reigns retains the WWE title. Backstage you have Vince, Shane, and Stephanie. Vince suggests that AJ Styles gets a rematch at Extreme Rules, and Shane agrees, and Shane says it should be an Extreme Rules match. And Stephanie agrees with him. So at Extreme Rules, it will be AJ Styles and Roman Reigns in an Extreme Rules match. And I guess the only difference between this match at Payback and the Extreme Rules match is we'll get some kendo shots and some chair shots and then more interference. So that wraps it up for WWE Payback. Shane and Stephanie are both in charge of Raw now. I guess we're supposed to be excited about that. I'm iffy about it. I mean, I think there's still hope for this storyline, and there's still an opportunity to do something significant at the next pay-per-view, but my gut feeling is WWE's just holding out until Cena returns, and then they'll start building up Cena versus Reigns for the SummerSlam pay-per-view or something like that. But time will tell. That was Payback. Overall, I would give it a thumbs up, but not a huge thumbs up. I would give it a solid B. Solid B. Good show. Could have been better. Unfortunate circumstances with Enzo, but at least it's only concussion and not something more serious. Make sure you stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Payback and Enzo's condition. And on that note, I will see you guys next time for No DQ&A video. Thanks for watching.